Welcome to OG Chat. This is Vlad Grinberg. I'm owner of Organic Grill. Organic Grill is a vegan restaurant in East Village, New York. And I'm here with my friend and co-host Lauren Passel.
Hi, Vlad. How you doing?
Hi, Lauren. How are you doing? Good?
I'm good. I just miss you like always.
Guys, welcome to our new series, Behind Closed Doors, where we talk to our neighbors and friends and check on how they're doing. Because we are all big community who loves our food and loves Organic Grill and loves OG Talk. And life has changed for all of us, and we kind of trying to get in touch, catch up, and connect, so we are not losing this wonderful vibe we had prior to pandemic. And Lauren, your choice. What are we doing now?
Oh my God, we are so lucky today. We're talking to Kimberly Potts. She is a TV and pop culture journalist, and she's written for like Vulture, Hollywood Reporter, TV Guide. The reason I met her was because she wrote a book called The Way We All Became the Brady Bunch. All about, so I don't know anyone that knows the Brady Bunch more than she does. Vlad, are you familiar with the Brady Bunch? Like you watched it and stuff? Okay, so you can ask her.
Old enough, unfortunately.
I mean, I've seen every single episode multiple times. The book is amazing. Anyway, but there's a couple of things, we want to talk to Kim about. But just first, we'll start. Kim, how are you today? Tell us what you see out your window, how you're feeling, how your spirits are, and just hello from me and Vlad.
Well, hello, Lauren and Vlad. Thank you so much for inviting me on the show today. It's extra fun these days to talk to people, as you both know. And I am looking out the window at the Hudson River. I live right near the West Side Highway, across from where you get on the Circle Line cruise, if the Circle Line cruise was actually operating right now. So it's a nice view, and it's I'm extra happy to have that view out the window right now, because it is a kind of a little touchstone to outside, which I think we all feel very disconnected from in general. But I'm doing okay. We're very lucky. We both are, my husband and I are both still working, and we are able to get groceries delivered and those kinds of things, so that we don't have to go out and take risks that we, don't want to, and put other people at risk. So we're happy about all of those things. We both do feel like we make dinner 8 times a day. It feels like that's all we're doing, showering and making dinner. But, we also have a lot of great things to read and watch, and we have a lot of great people to keep in touch with. So I think we both feel very lucky.
I think I have to start off with a question. Vlad, you can go in a second. But the question we're all dying to hear answered is, what would the Brady Bunch do in quarantine? What would happen?
I think they would manage quarantine better than anybody. I think they would do much the same that they normally do. I mean, they're pretty self-contained when they want to be. So they would be playing games. They would be, Alice would be making her lavish dinners for them. Well, as lavish as meatloaf is, which I think it is. But I think they would be eating very well. They would be playing a lot of games. They would be squabbling, but then making up with each other, within 30 minutes, because that's what the Brady Bunch does. I don't think that life would actually be that much different from that for them in quarantine.
It's funny because that Very Brady movie, the movie, they kind of were in their own weird quarantine kind of world. So I think actually you nailed that question. That is,
I think you guys confusing quarantine and autonomy.
okay. Well, that was the episode that never happened that I still want, the Brady's in quarantine. But you're totally right.
I think that's a great idea for a new movie.
Yes. Oh man, the quarantine movies are going to start coming up. But speaking of movies and stuff, what you know all about this. What are you watching? What would you recommend that we watch and read?
I am mostly watching, and I probably should be a little embarrassed by this, but I'm not, just because there are no rules in this. You know, keep yourself entertained, do what you have to do. I'm watching a lot of reruns because I find that it's my comfort TV in all of this. Sometimes I just have the TV on TBS on Friends reruns, a lot of Seinfeld, a lot of King of Queens, 30 Rock. I discovered that there is a just treasure trove of old TV series that you can watch for free on IMDb TV, which I didn't even know existed until a couple of months ago. So I've been watching reruns of the original Dallas series from the 1980s, and it is proving to be not so much a guilty pleasure, but again, just a big comfort TV. But I think in general, I mean, actually, I have some friends who are watching all of the horror movies and pandemic kind of movies from the past. For some reason, that brings them some comfort, I guess, to that they're seeing a fictional version of it instead of living the real thing. I very much recommend. This is the thing I keep recommending to everyone, and everyone ends up loving it. There's a TV series version, or I guess, remake of the Karate Kid movies called Cobra Kai on YouTube. You can also buy the episodes. Yeah, it's so good. Ralph Macchio is in it. Bunch of the main cast from the movies, and along with a new teen cast. But it's so good. They've done 2 seasons so far, and they're going to release a 3rd season sometime this year. So I recommend that to everyone, and everyone ends up loving it. But then, there's a new season of Billions that just started. We're catching up with Yellowstone, which is a series on Paramount Network starring Kevin Costner. I've rewatched some of The Sopranos. I kind of have that hunger for some really good drama too. So, but I think for most people, comedies are the thing that is getting them through this.
Can we expect a Dallas book next, or if you were going to write? Have you another book? What's the next book?
I'm hoping to write one on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is another comedy. Do you love it too?
Yeah.
This is amazing. Yeah, I'd love to read a book about this show. This show is quite crazy, huh?
It really is. I'm so glad to hear that. Okay, so maybe I'm onto something then.
I loved, what was the actress's name? You know him. There's like one woman on that.
Sweet D?
Yes. I just loved how, I feel like at the time, there weren't a lot of women who were breaking the mold of it was usually the women going oh man, gee, you're so goofy and up to no good. And the woman was always the good person on the show. And Sweet Pea was just as bad, if not worse than everybody else. I remember really loving having a new hero to strive for, non-perfect woman. I love that so much.
And every conversation is absolutely crazy, and enthusiasm they have about everyone's idea is unparalleled. They always cheering some crazy idea one of the members comes up with. I was unbelievable.
Well, when they first premiered, they were called by a reviewer, and it really stuck. Seinfeld on crack, and I think that really fits, right? That really describes them. But I think they're easily just as groundbreaking as Seinfeld was in their own ways. And as you said, Lauren, Sweet D, who's played by Caitlin Olsen, she is, I think, one of the, if not the best physical comedian on TV. I don't know if you remember the episode where she ran headfirst into a car door. She actually broke her back doing that. She did that stunt herself. Just incredible. The things they do are just insane, but it's also a really great story. They shot their first pilot for $100. And then the president of FX was so impressed with them that he gave them real money to make a real pilot, and it took them a couple of seasons to catch on, but they have been on the air now 14 seasons, which
What?
most people don't, yet most people don't know that. They are tied with, uh, is it the Donna Reed show? They are tied as the longest running live action sitcom in history.
Well, you know, Kim has a podcast. Also, I forgot to mention she's a podcaster of the hashtag authoring podcast, and which I have been on actually.
You have. Yes.
I love being on people's podcasts. But if you were going to do a podcast on a TV show, what would you do? Or would it be The Brady Bunch or Sunny in Philadelphia?
I think it would be Sunny in Philadelphia, because I think there's so much to talk about with that show. And again, there have been several people that I've mentioned it to, and they say, "Oh, somebody else told me I should watch that." That's kind of the reaction to everybody who hasn't seen it when they hear about it. But it is amazing how many people are like, they're just shocked to hear that the show that they've never seen has been on for 14 seasons. And who knows, I mean, with the pandemic and everything, and all the craziness that's going on in Hollywood, but I think there's every reason to believe that they'll do at least one more season to break that record outright themselves, instead of, be tied as the longest running live action sitcom. But also, it's still funny. That's, I think, the most amazing thing. It's still so funny in season 14.
That's really almost like a news to me. I would never think that this show is going for so long. And what also interesting for me about the show is that Danny DeVito is such a famous actor, and usually the show is built about like a biggest star, and he's just part of a show. So it says a lot about his ego and being able to play with a team and incredible group of characters. I'm so excited that you came up with this subject. I didn't even know you were working on it.
Yeah.
He kind of saved the show too. It was growing an audience its first season, but the president of FX had worked with for Danny DeVito's television production company, and he was really a champion of It's Always Sunny. He really wanted it to do well, so he went to Danny DeVito and said, we feel like we need a name, an established name on the show, because they were all so unknown at that point. And so he went to Danny DeVito, and Danny DeVito had never seen the show, but his kids were big fans of it. So he met with them, and they all got along, and he thought it would be fun. And obviously, I mean, he's really it's one of his great characters. I think we all already know him from so many other things, but I think Frank Reynolds is one of his great performances.
Tim, you mentioned you're cooking a lot. Do you have a TV snack that you like to eat during quarantine?
It's boring, but I have to be honest, it's Doritos for me.
That's a classic. Do you ever put Doritos on other food, like sandwiches, or do you straight up?
It's pretty much straight up, but it's my go-to sandwich accompaniment, I guess. How about both of you? What are you both snacking on, or what are you both cooking the most?
Vlad is probably whipping up masterful dishes.
Oh my God. Honestly, guys, I feel so guilty because I just stopped posting about food, because I'm so accustomed to post about food in a restaurant, and now we're cooking at home and we almost like enjoying this privacy and then nobody has to know about what we eat, because every time I'm in a restaurant, I'm doing this. But it's actually been one kind of interesting experience after working in a kitchen for so long and being in the restaurant business. We kind of took it from completely different perspective, because we decided that we're going to be closed, and we promised to each other, my wife and me, that we are going to be zero waste for this period of time, and we're going to use all leftovers that are still from the restaurant. We had like a box of potatoes, box of onions, box of all those things, and every day we would just doing it like a prep. We're working on potatoes, and then we are thinking of all the dishes we can do with potatoes.
Why was there not video of this? You could have had a
We do
reality.
have some, we do have some videos, but I kind of like, what's the point to post it? Usually I post it so people can eat it in the restaurant. So I'll probably going to do one day just posting of all the dishes for pandemic period. But so far I was adamant. But I wanted to ask you, Lauren, like, what do you guys eat at home? And then I have a question for Kim.
We order a lot of food, and I say it's to support my neighborhood, which is totally true. But we're just, my husband and I don't, we used to cook a lot. We don't cook a ton right now, but can I give you
Such
my
a good excuse to get more food. My goodness, huh?
Can I give you my favorite quarantine recipe? That my favorite thing to make?
Yeah.
Really quick. It's a quick recipe. And Vlad, feel free to put this on the menu. But you have to call it.
No, I have no choice, huh?
No, I'm serious. Lauren's Beanie Weenie recipe. Okay. So you chop up hot dogs, and obviously vegan hot dogs because I don't eat meat. And you put them, they're so easy. You put them in a skillet with baked beans, and you of course you need hot sauce. It's mandatory. And then you heat it up, and then you crumble in like little bits of English muffin.
Oh.
And then you put cheddar cheese or American cheese on the top and let it melt. And voila, you have this delicious, it takes like 2 seconds. It's in the skillet. It's canned. Oh my God. Go home and make Lauren's Beanie Weenie recipe.
Lauren, is this an Ohio thing? Because I ate this growing up, or a version of this.
I think, yeah, I mean, I grew up in Ohio, and my mom used to make it for me. Maybe, did you grow up in Ohio too?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I did.
Where?
Coshocton.
Oh, Southern, right? Is that Southern?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's why I do remember that. It's an Ohio thing. We're bringing Ohio goodness to New York.
Yes.
So Kim, what are you cooking at home? And this is one question, and half of this question, if you would invite people from the show you were discussing, like what would you prepare for them? What do you think they would be into?
Oh, that's a good. We don't see them eat so much as because they're drinking all the time, right? So I guess I would try to come up with something that would go good with beer, maybe bratwurst or something.
They would probably like Doritos with you.
Right. You're right. They would absolutely, or Charlie's, what's his milk steak and jelly beans that he eats in one episode. And we don't really know what milk steak is, but Charlie eats it. We cook a lot of chicken. We have been eating a lot of chicken. So a lot of time on the internet looking for anything new to do with chicken breasts because we're pretty sick. I think we're sick of cooking in general right now, and we really miss going out to restaurants. I think for everyone, that's one of the quintessential New York things because there are so many here, and it feels sad to not be out, eating in restaurants.
I just want to let you know that at Organic Grill we have ojikin, and it's made of oyster mushrooms. So I hope you're working on ojikin only. And whenever we have time, I'll show you the recipe. You'll forget about the rest of it.
I love it. I can't. Again, I looked at I saw some of your menu online today, and it looked so good.
I have a question. You are so familiar with everything that goes on each of the shows that you're working on. You know the trivia, you go to such a detail about everything. How do you get to know that much about this subject? You talk to the show producers, you talk to the stars of the show. How it's done?
It is mostly from interviews, reading a lot too. There are so many great websites that cover TV in great detail now, but I've been lucky to interview a lot of them as well. And there are shows that I cover more than other. It's Always Sunny has been one that I've covered since it premiered, and I've had the chance to talk to them, and so that's been really fun. Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad are another couple of shows that I've covered a lot. They're among my favorite shows, and I've been lucky to talk to them. And yeah, people who really love, this is true obviously of every industry, people who really love what they're doing love talking about it. And the Sunny people, the It's Always Sunny people, really love what they're doing. They're very proud of what they've created, so they're always super fun to talk to about the show.
This is a great reminder to go back to that show, because it's been, so thank you for that. It's been a long time since I've watched it, and we have to get going. I feel like we could talk to you forever, but can you take us out on like just like a bright moment? These are dark days. Can you think
Yeah.
of a happy time you've had in the past like week or so that you could share with us?
Ooh, gosh. Oh, you know what? I don't know if you guys have been watching well, yesterday we Zoomed with my mother-in-law for Mother's Day and several family members, and that was really fun. My mother-in-law and my husband's brother aren't super tech savvy. So we ended the rest of us were just kind of laughing a lot at how, they didn't understand that they had to lean in front of the microphone. And so there was just a lot of technical fun with that. And just, they were kind of having fun, feeling like they were on video. And so that was, it was one of the times, for all the times that people say they are very frustrated with Zoom because they have to use it for work, this was certainly one of the fun times, the fun applications of Zoom. And in terms of TV, I highly recommend, and I have been enjoying even more than I thought I would, the ESPN Michael Jordan documentary, The Last Dance, has just been incredible fun. And I'm sure it's saving the sanity of all of those sports fans who are just going crazy without any sports to watch right now.
Yeah, I'm not even a huge sports fan, and I love it. I would recommend it to people that even just love a good story and like.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, it really is just that, and great personalities and characters. What about you? I want to hear that same answer from both of you. What's a moment of joy from the last week?
Do you want to go first? Now I'm realizing how hard this question is to think of something quickly.
I enjoyed really very much my play with my son with Lego, because he grew up and he's playing all these video games, and I guess he's playing it so much he's bored, and now we played cards, and one day he comes to me and like, let's play Lego. We didn't play for so long, and even he was so kind of excited about my excitement. I said, okay, let's go. So that was something very interesting and new, because under no circumstances we could have played Lego like months ago. It was childish thing to do. It's not cool anymore. And all of a sudden we're going back.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, that's cute. I think I bought my mom a Mother's Day gift a really, really long time ago, and I finally got to give it to her. And I sent it to her a long time ago, and she opened it yesterday. But we're Disney nerds, and I found an artist to make her own Peter Pan painted canvas van sneakers. And I was so excited to watch her open them, and it was a real moment of joy. Mostly because I was like, wasn't this a good gift? Admit it. It was the best gift you've ever gotten, right? Like, I wanted credit for thinking of the best gift ever, and it totally was.
Honestly, it's pretty close. Like your intuition and your creativity is right at 10.
Well, I'm telling her that you said that. Well, I'll send her this episode. But yeah, she made me really happy, because
Kim, we have to ask you to promise us that you're going to come back and tell us about those new shows that you watch, because we desperately need new content for our own entertainment. And I'd like to thank you, Kim, for joining us today and sharing your experiences. For everyone else, please check out our OG chat behind closed doors, along with our original video podcast, OG Talk. And you can hear us on Apple, you can hear us on Stitcher, iHeart, Google Play, and please take a moment to subscribe, like, comment, And we thank you so much for my dear co-host Lauren Passel. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you very much for bringing your friend Kim. It was amazing. I'm Vlad Grinberg from Organic Grill. Have a great day, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, and watch OG chat.